What a great song. Totally my speed, my style. It's just a beautiful sound. Doppelganger by Listen, Julien Marchal, and Ed Tullett. Although I only hear one vocal there, I don't know exactly what that collaboration looks like, but I'm a fan. Insouciance?
Insouciance.
Yeah, insouciance. It means a casual lack of concern or indifference. An impression of boyish insouciance, for example, nonchalance, unconcerned indifference, from the French verb soucier, souciant, and in or not, insouciant. Just not caring, really. A good word. This is episode 61, June 14th, after a long break, possibly even longer than the last time. That was talked about the song of the day, Doppelganger. Quickly, commentary. Police violence is not white men attacking black men. That's probably one of the most controversial things somebody could say, right? Police violence is not exclusively. The word exclusively doesn't even have to be in this statement, though. And, so Sam Harris spent a good hour and a half plus in his latest release, essentially in a verbal essay outlining why he's so concerned about the way that we're talking about this. And I was moved by what he said. I mean, it really changed my thinking. The link here I'm not sure if you can access it unless you're a subscriber. I'm a subscriber. I have been for a long time. I was a relatively early supporter of his work, and continue to be. Sam Harris, that is. To summarize, for example, statistically, per capita, there's more violence committed by police towards white men than there is towards black men. But nothing other than the conversation about black men is getting talked about. It's also a 1 in 10,000 event that anybody is even hurt during an arrest, and there are something like 10 million arrests a year. That seems like a pretty good batting average for the police that have an exceptionally difficult job to do. By the way, do you like the new camera setup? Thanks to my new, very inexpensive but highly effective tripod. Thanks Asia. Thanks China Post for finally showing up. Yeah, I'm not going to talk a lot more about this, but it's really concerning because it's become so polarizing. My view and Sam's view is much broader than mine, and he's much closer to reality or the truth on the ground in the States, being American and listening to these things as he does. But that the American culture is in such a dangerous time, like it's so combustible. And so much more to say, but I strongly encourage any of you who can listen to this to listen to it. Insouciance, word of the day, quotes of the day. Michael Lewis, on the stories we tell ourselves. Get this, I love it. As I've gotten older, I would say starting in my mid-late 20s, I could not help but notice the effect on people of the stories they told about themselves. If you listen to people, if you just sit and listen, you'll find that there are patterns in the way they talk about themselves. There's the kind of person who is always the victim of any story they tell, always on the receiving end of some injustice. And there's the person who's always kind of the hero of every story they tell. There's the smart person. They always deliver the clever put down. There are lots of versions of this, and you've got to be very careful about how you tell these stories because it starts to become who you are. You are, in the way you craft your narrative, kind of crafting your own character. And so I did at some point decide I'm going to adopt a self-consciously as my narrative that I'm the happiest person anybody knows. And it is amazing how happy-inducing it is. Imagine that. Imagine that you have this level of absolute control over your identity, but that it starts with your narrative about who you are. Profoundly powerful stuff. Very, very powerful stuff. Okay, we're in wave 2 by most definitions. Some people consider wave 2 like when New York gets the second wave. However you want to define it, 23, 24, 25 of the 50 states in the US are at peak levels. The world is at a peak level. South America is getting crushed. Brazil, Chile, Ecuador, Peru. I'm not sure Ecuador's on that list. Peru, Chile, Brazil, unquestionably. Mexico, Russia. But in the States, there was this window where they needed to hire like upwards of 150,000 track and trace personnel to do the track and trace. And not only have they failed to hire the numbers, but it appears that even where they have had the numbers, it hasn't worked. It was supposed to work. Very concerning stuff. And in the interest of keeping this one short and sweet, there's the picture of the day. My beautiful daughter and I, the last time we went to the father-daughter ball, me in my tux, her in like a Christmas dress. Yeah, special stuff. Anyway, with that, I'll sign off. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you guys, as always.